To you, friends, Shabbat Shalom. Greetings to you all. Now, U.S. Thanksgiving ushers in the season of sharing, of giving, of family, of Christmas, of light, of a new year with new beginnings. Yes, it is the darkest time of the year. The season of the winter solstice is fast approaching, when the rebirth of the sun is honored. And this year is one of those great festive times when Christmas and Hanukkah, the twin festivals of light, coincide on the 25th of December. I think it's great when they are together instead of being weeks apart. They are the twin festivals because they honor the same thing. They honor the growing miracle of light in our lives. One, the light of miracles that epitomized faith, showed that one small flame is all it takes to keep a belief alive. The other, a light of commemoration and remembering love and the laws of Moses. And as we approach them over the next few weeks, we will talk more about them. And since this time of the year is the harbinger of the time with family, this week we read about the ultimate in sibling rivalry. Not created by the siblings, of course, but by the favoritism of the parents. But before we go there, I hope you all had a chance to express your thanks for the people and things and events of your life that you do not always get a chance to think of and to thank. And once again, let us all take an extra few seconds and be thankful for the things in our lives and for something we often take for granted, our health. It's the energy. To help heal all those in need of healing and renewal, sending goodwill, love, peace, and thanks. It is such an easy thing to do, to transmit energy to the world, to all you know in need. So think of those in need, call out healing for them. For Phil awaiting surgery, for Cass. We pray for your health and well-being, and thank you for being part of so many lives. Me, Sheberech, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach, let us all have our spirits renewed. And let us all wish the happiest of birthdays to our good friend Noah. Noach, Yaakov, Ben Baruch V'Elka, strong with the Spirit of God and good and peace and love. This one is for you. Have an awesome time. You do deserve it. Now, many call this a family history, but that's an incorrect translation. This week we read Toldot The Records, and while it is often presented as being family history, it's not just of a family, but of an era. It can be like looking through sacred archives. In the case of the Bible, it is very much about being separated over eras or major events. The first, without calling it such, separated the Garden of Eden stories from Noah. And then the next covered the change from Noah to Abraham, each marking major shifts in the Torah's direction, but all with keeping to the twin themes of faith and love. Surprisingly, this official record section has the shortest archive of any of the Toldot in the Bible, 1. But this is an introduction to the most famous twins in biblical history, Jacob, whose name is changed to Israel, and his twin brother, Esau. Now, the events which unfold from their story determine the history and future of the people. The story of deceptions, of karma and its return. And in our theme for the year, it is a story of faith or lack therein, and the choice between love, forgiveness and generosity, and selfishness, hurtful resentment, and fear. Has anything changed? Now, are we ourselves perhaps really the twins? Are we reading about the two paths that flow within us? And is this about which way do we each choose to vibrate? For we can each go either way, and friends, what makes you choose the path you choose? Now, I suspect one of the determining factors is your level of faith. Now, I've only met 3 people who have complete faith and belief in the universal power of God and the energy of time and life unfolding as it should for their own good. Now, I'm not one of them, but I learned from them. And boy, do I wish I had their faith. 2 of them have always had it, and the third came to it, as can we all. And that is a lesson for everyone. It is waiting to be attained. And as we have seen in this great epic, as it unfolds, there is confusion, contradiction, and parts out of sequence. Ignore them. Look at the bigger picture, because we are presented with an encapsulated picture of everyman life. This week we opened with barrenness and entreaty, and an annunciation-type scene, and the poetic predictions given by God are like an oracle's words. Which way do you take them? Genesis 25:21. And the children clashed together within her, and she said, "Then why me?" And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, 2 nations in your womb, 2 peoples from your loins shall issue. People over people shall prevail. The elder, the younger, shall serve. Wow, that's fantastic. The oracle of God, the translation, simply does not work here, my friends. The biblical Hebrew syntax leaves unclear which noun is subject and which is object. The elder shall serve the younger, or the elder, the younger, shall serve. Now, we have been reading interpretive translations ever since. Unfortunately, like I say, sometimes it is simply impossible to tell which word in a biblical verse is the subject and which is the object, especially in a poetic verse, which this is. And that, my friends, is the case in this oracle to Rebekah. This prediction contains 2 opposite meanings. And as with any oracle, the person who receives it, Rebekah, can hear whatever she wants, consciously or subconsciously to hear. It can be understood to mean that Jacob will serve Esau or that Esau will serve Jacob. But the crucial point in the story of the birth of the twins is not the fact of the birth itself, but the future fate of struggle between these siblings. One was a hunter, one was a farmer, just like with Cain and Abel. And as we learned in the great musical, Oklahoma, well, the farmer and the cowman should be friends. The farmer and the cowman should be friends. One man likes to push a plow, the other likes to chase a cow. But that's no reason why they can't be friends. Well, as we all know, brothers are not always friends. One was favored by mother, one was favored by father. Hey, we even get the unapproved of daughter-in-law thrown into the mix, and we have the formula for life forevermore. Now, the incredible scenes play out in this whole part like an Aeschylean tragedy. You see, the Bible, like Greek tragedy, has only 2 speakers in a dialogue, no matter how many parties are present. And those of you who've read, Greek tragedy know the chorus acts as only one person. And in this unfolding of destiny, we have 7 pair of dialogue taking place. We have Isaac and Esau, Rebekah and Jacob. Jacob and Isaac, Isaac and Esau again, Rebekah and Jacob again, Rebekah and Isaac, and finally Isaac and Jacob. Now we open with each parent with their favorite child, finally leading to husband and wife talking, but never do we ever see brother to brother. Friends, we learn a lot about the individuals as we watch these 7 scenes unfold, but we learn the least about Isaac. He is the most unusual of patriarchs, and we know the least about him. He was introduced to us as a bound victim, and we're about to see him as a bamboozled, blind old man. Nothing else distinguishes him that we are aware of or that we can tell. See the arrow on the doorpost saying, "This land is condemned." All the way from New Orleans to Jerusalem, traveled through East Texas where many martyrs fell. And I know no one can sing the blues like Blind Willie McDowell. Now, I bet poor blind Isaac could sing the blues. Poor victim of deception by everyone in his life, perhaps except for his mother. His father took him out to make a sacrifice together, and the sacrifice turned out to be him. His wife conspired with his second-born son to take the blessing meant for the eldest. His complicit, deceiving son's only fear was not of the action being wrong, but in being discovered with the resultant consequences. Genesis 27:12. What if my father feels me, and I seem to cheat to him and bring on myself a curse and not a blessing? And friends, he even deceived himself. He knew it was not Esau but Jacob that he was blessing, but he did not have faith in his sense or knowledge, and therefore he set himself up. And as you explore this parsha, you see that Rebekah is the true driving force of all that takes place. And as I said last time, she is the true heir to the patriarchs. It's not about Isaac, it's about her. Read this parsha, my friend. It lays the foundation for so much of what is to come. You'll see a dynasty built on deception. You'll see karma being paid back all over the place, as Jacob suffers some corresponding recompense for every deception he commits, as do Laban, Rachel, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, and Joseph's other brothers. The lesson is not only that people are not perfect, but that acts of deception can fester in a family, and that they do indeed have far-reaching consequences. I know you've deceived me, now here's a surprise. I know that you have, 'cause there's magic in my eyes. I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. Oh yeah. Now, how would such deceptions then affect all the relationships, especially Isaac's relationship with his wife? See, Rebekah's plan and Jacob's actions have caused a deep hurt that was never there before. Would Isaac ever look at Rebekah the same way? I'm looking through you. Where did you go? I thought I knew you. What did I know? You don't look different, but you have changed. I'm looking through you. You're not the same. Now, our sensual world is made up of some pretty usual things that we're familiar with: sight, sound, smell, touch, taste. The five senses that, we're always familiar with. Sight and sound are the most powerful, and of course, they then become the first two children of Jacob. He names them for sight and for sound, which you'll see in the next couple of weeks. We rely on our vision, probably more than any other sense. But the power of sound is truly incredible, and studies have shown that babies spoken to by their parents in utero turn to the voices of their parents when they're born, because they are familiar with those sounds. Well, Isaac's ready to bestow his blessing. He could not see, but he might not have had vision, but his hearing told him it was not Esau who had come to him. But he ignored his own sense, as the tools used for deception were clothes and animal skins. Clothes provided the scent of their owner Esau, so as Isaac smelled the clothes, he could smell the scent that was Esau's. The animal skins, hid the smooth skin of Jacob and emulated the hairy aspect of Esau. But his own ears told him that it was the wrong person. He finished blessing one, the other arrived, And he said, your brother has come in deceit and has taken your blessing. Well, how do our sages defend, justify, accept deception? Is it something we want to teach? Something we want to promote? Something we want to encourage? Or does it go against our desire for good, for honesty, and truthfulness, for love? Numerous attempts have been made to denigrate Esau in Midrash and even in current biblical interpretation, but it is simply not justified according to the text. The lesson to be seen is that Rebekah's plan and Jacob's actions have caused deep hurt, but rather than excuse them, the story is going to show how these things are resolved through maturing and forgiveness. So is this instead the study of personal makeup, of moral fiber? And we get clues. Genesis 27:17. And he came to his father and he said, Father, Father. He said, Here I am. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. It's a direct lie. Isaac gives him a second chance. Genesis 27:24. And he said, Is this you, my son Esau? And he said, Yes, I am. Now, many translations instead say, Which of my sons are you? In fact, the one you're reading probably says, Which of my sons are you? But the question, and it is a life-defining question, with the name-calling and with the here I am answer, is not which of my sons are you, but who are you, my son? And that is a life-defining question if ever there were. Who are you? The world is sacred. And so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, good healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Send healing, goodwill, and love to all who need it. And please do share your holiness with everybody that you can. Bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace and healing for you to honor the people of your life and honor the journey you are on and honor yourselves. Keep your eyes open to what you may not see. Keep your ears open and listen to the world around you. Remember, this is an organic book. The lessons, the laws, the ethics, the ritual may change with the times. It's how it does stay current, relevant, new, meaningful, and continues to provide us with insight in our lives. Now remember, we do set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our cause and effect, everything is linked. Now, as I've said, you will always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You do have that knowledge of what is good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you have wronged. And then ask forgiveness and do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. But do not stop your journey, my friends. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It's in sight. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading your holiness. Do not follow fear, follow love. Do not foster anger and resentment, especially with your brother. So Sergeant Pepper took you by surprise. You better see right through that mother's eyes. Those freaks was right when they said you was dead. The one mistake you made was in your head. Oh, how do you sleep? How do you sleep at night? Now That certainly has to be one of the most bitter songs between brothers, if ever there were one. Do not look back, my friends. Remember, have faith and unwavering adherence to principle. And I have faith in the principle of love in all of you. And we'll be holding a special candle lighting ceremony on December the 21st. And if you would like a candle lit and the name recited for somebody who has passed, please send it to me. And I will make sure that it is included in our Festival of Lights ceremony. Now, thank you all for joining me, for participating, for sharing your lives, your love, your time with me. I love you all. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Be well until then. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.